The Wind Waker. It was the first Zelda game that I ever played, but I gave up on it when I got to the Forsaken Fortress and never played the game since. But about 3 years ago, I thought I should give it a try. So I went to my local GameStop, but they didn't have it. I was sad because I went to every store that sells games, and they all said they didn't have it. And then about a week later, me and my dad went to a local garage sale. He was looking for junk, and I went to the kids section, and then he saw it. A black box with a label saying, The Wind Waker. I quickly grabbed it and went over to the person selling it and asked how much for the game. He said, "Please take it, please. I'll give it to you for free." That made me a bit skeptical, but I didn't really care, so I took his offer. When we got home, I turned on my Wii and put the disc in. I got a nostalgic feeling when it booted up. When I got to the title screen, I noticed a couple things that were off. First off, there wasn't any music or sound. Secondly, the sky was black. And lastly, the creepiest thing, the title said, The Kill Waker. It made me wonder, did this guy's kid hack it or something? But I still wanted to play it, so I pressed the start button. Everything was fine until I got to the part where Link's sister gets kidnapped. Link was to jump, and Tetra would catch him, but she didn't. Link fell, and right before he hit the rock, the screen cut to black for 30 seconds. Then I was at the scene where you meet the King of Red Lions, except he was red and black, and had an evil, scary grin, and said,
"Hello, Link. I'm sorry for what happened to you and your sister. I'm the King of Black Lions."
Then I noticed Link. His clothes were black, his skin pale as the moon, and he seemed sad with blood on his face and arms. He continued,
"You must make that bitch that killed you pay, and that bird too. Take this instrument of death and make them suffer."
Then I got the Kill Waker. There was no description. Then he said he needs a sail. I went out and saw it was night, but it was pitch black with no stars. I noticed the NPCs were looking at me strangely, like they were scared. I tried to talk to them, but they would say nothing or scream. I went to the salesman with enough money, but he wouldn't sell it to me. I couldn't use the Waker for whatever reason. I targeted the salesman, and then I couldn't use it, so I did. Then the screen went to black and I heard a scream. It said I got the sale, but when I looked at the salesman, his head was on the table, dead. I screamed about what happened, but then I got back to playing. I was confused about what happened, so I tried it on the children. It went to black and I heard screams. Next, they were laying on the ground with black eyes with tears of blood. As sick as it was, I continued to play it. I went back to my boat and said to go to the location marked on the map. While I was sailing, I noticed something creepy. Link seemed happy after what happened. When I got to the location, I noticed it was Tetra's ship. When I got on board, the crew began to try to kill me, but Link used the Waker to kill them all. What I saw next was horrid. Everyone was killed in a sick way. One had a knife in the eye, another was on fire with his left arm missing, and the others were even worse. When Tetra came to see what was going on, in a cutscene, Link used the Waker, and it went back to black. Then I saw Tetra ripped in half, and Link kneeling over her. Then a message block said, "I got Tetra's heart." When I got back to the boat, the King of the Black Lions said,
"Nice job. Now we must go to the bird."
So I went to the fortress. After getting the hammer, I was sent to the bird boss battle. After getting the mask off, the only thing I could do was use the waker. After I did, I saw the body with no head. It was a gory mess. There was blood everywhere, and even on Link. Then his sister came over and said, "I hate you. I hate you. You killed all those people and the bird. You." Then to my surprise, Link used the waker again. Errol screamed, then fell. Link turned his head 180 degrees with an evil grin and said,
"They're all dead. Game over."
It went to black. Then a message box said, "You're next." To my horror, Link began to walk to my screen, slowly, and laughing. I tried to turn off my weed, but it wouldn't work. When he got to my screen, he screamed. Then it went off. That experience scarred me deep. I went back to the guy's house, but when I got there, I saw an old house. A jogger ran up to me and said, "No one has lived there for years." I went back home, got the game and its case, and buried it in my backyard, hoping I never see it again.
What's for dinner? Oh boy!